Hmm. Hmm. There we go. Click the button. Now let me see my references node. Mhm. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. I think I want to keep these on a notepad. Let me get a notepad while we're still loading. Let me see. Hmm. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Oh, dads are already over. Nice, nice, nice. Then I believe it is time to get started. Hello everyone! How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing good today. We are gonna work on Whiskey's Bar again. Hope you're all doing good today. Yes. Whiskey asked 3 new people to join the bar. So actually, I'm gonna work on these in reverse order than what's here. I never realized how terrible Lord Honglu is at UT1. His S2 row is a 12. Wait, which one is UT? What's UT? Ah. Yeah, no. Like, these things, they are made to be like, okay, we made this guy to be used at uptie 4. You're not supposed to use it at lower than that. Absolutely. He gains a lot from uptie 2. I don't think there's any character that's actually supposed to be used at uptie 1. Are they doing like a challenge run? Because I don't even know what the point of Lord Honglu is. Uptie 1. Like, without the third skill, what even is the point, right? Just did the counter, I guess? You just spend the counter and you keep cycling the Heishos? I see. You know what, Lunatic? I think new players who are a little bit stubborn to take advice should be left to their own devices and struggle on their own. You give the advice and you're like, but you do whatever you want. And then you leave. Because that way it helps. Some people need to like try things on their own in order to learn what they need. Sometimes just telling isn't enough, you know? And usually the best way to do this is actually encourage them to try things out. Be like, okay, if you think it's like that, let's try it out and see what happens. Personally, I never done this before. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens, shall we? Can give them like a little bit of encouragement to just suffering watching my boy Murder. That is part of the fun, though. That is part of the fun. Hey, Retro Gamer! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hello. 15 damage on a second attack. Oh god. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Oh my god. That is pretty funny though. That is pretty funny. Okay, so we're doing... so Retro Gamer, since you're new here, this is a commission that I've been doing for a long time because it keeps... Whiskey loves this. A long time ago, I did an intro screen for another streamer called Whiskey, Weeb. He's around usually. And he likes it so much. We keep redoing it. We keep adding new things to it. So, yep. So basically, it's a cameo of a bunch of his friends, and different things happen over and over. And now there is a new set of characters for me to make. Basically, these are the ones that we're gonna add. I have listed what I have to do, but first, since he already approved the base sprite, since this is isometric, we need at least 4 directions. It's diagonal, so we just need to do the back now. Unfortunately, most VTubers, me included, don't usually have back references, so we kinda go off vibes of what their backs look like. But I do have a few techniques to help us on how to make back sprites. So basically, there is a neat trick to do when it comes to making back characters. So we're gonna take the tail here, and we're gonna do a few things. First things first, there are no boobs in the back. Unless you have a very unique anatomy, you're usually not gonna have boobs on your back. I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing. Honestly, probably better not know. Are back boobs a thing, chat? Leave a comment down below. No, thank you. So here's a cool, neat trick. We take this one that's from the side. Then we delete this one. We do this one. Like this. I mean, quad boob is a thing, wouldn't back boob be a thing? You know, the quad boob thing I actually been exposed to way before the internet. It was actually an artwork that was part of the official artwork, may I add, for the what was their name? White Mask? The guys who do Vampire the Masquerade, right? So their other RPG is Werewolf the Apocalypse, and I have a few others, but I don't remember those very well. And I had a friend who wanted us to get into playing Vampire the Masquerade. And he started with Werewolf the Apocalypse for us. And on the official game book, right, the official rule book, it just had a werewolf lady with, I think, like 6 titties. Because, you know, technically, wolves have 6 titties. So, yeah, 6. It's official artwork for that book. It's the official artwork for that book. I'm not sure if that book is 18 plus, actually, come to think of it. It's like, come play our game. You can be a 6-titty vampire wolf girlfriend or something. I am pretty sure that book was someone's awakening to stuff. I am pretty sure that someone had an awakening with that book. Wasn't me, but someone had an awakening with that book. Okay, but do you guys see this vision though? Do you guys see what I did? We are already with the back sprite complete. Now all we need to do to make sure the back sprite looks a little bit more backy is to, one, do stuff like this. Because it gives like the impression that the arm is forward on the side, right? And two, add a little bit more shade to the back. I don't know why. The back always feels like it has more shade than the front. It fits better for some reason. So we're gonna do this. We are gonna make this slightly forward, so it gives a better impression. Oh, I can't wait for this Sunday, by the way. There is a little bit of trivia about the OG Mega Man games that I don't know if anyone ever noticed it, and I can't wait to drop that on stream. I hope I'm able to drop it properly though. It's about the fact Mega Man, the OG Mega Man sprite was so good from the first game that they barely changed it at all for 6 games. However, there was one change they made. From 1 to 6, there is exactly one change. One single change that they made. And it's gonna be really funny because I get to... maybe I get to show what the change is. Should I spoil it? Should I spoil it? Nah, I'm not gonna spoil it. You're gonna have to tune in. I'm gonna tell it on stream on Saturday. Cause it's such a funny thing. It's so tiny and it's so funny. Okay, I'll tell you. You're not gonna believe... if I told you, you wouldn't believe me anyways. So, the only single change in the OG Mega Man sprite that they did, for actually some reason, because honestly they really didn't need to, was that they added 3 lines that are like 3 or 2 lines, 3 or 2 black lines that are like about this big on Mega Man's helmet when he is climbing, to be the vents for the helmet. And that's the only thing they ever changed in that sprite. And I bet, even if you play this game so much, you never notice it. It is. The only way I know this is because I lurked among the crowd that used it to call Mega Man the Blue Bomber way back when. Way back when. I used to read the Sinister Six epilogues. If you know that, congratulations, you're probably pretty old too. I mean, I played Mega Man Star Force a little more. I didn't get too into Star Force. Battle Network was gold though. Battle Network was so good. Was so good. Look at that, her back is turned. Just like that. Perfection. Now let's do for this one. Star Force 4 got cancelled. Oh, there was gonna be a Star Force 4. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. I liked Battle Network so much. I mean, I'm a big card game person, so Mega Man card game was just right for me. Mega Man card game just fitted right in. I do have the entire Battle Network collection too. It is. I don't remember what was the reason I didn't quite like it as much. Methinks it was the fact that it was first person. I guess I just didn't adapt to it very well, the first person combat compared to the third person. Although it wasn't really first person. I guess I was just that was probably nitpicking. I was just not as invested, I guess. I actually I should probably try to replay it sometime. Or maybe even play it for the first time because I never really got that far. Could be fun. Could be fun. Oh, the first one was an issue? Okay, I started with the first one. Okay, then. If the issue was me starting with the first game, yeah, that was the one I started with. I see, I see, I see. Interesting, interesting. Good tutorials are good. Good tutorials are good. Although people really do argue about what makes a good tutorial good. The super upgrade you get is also meh unless you play the X. I see, I see, I see. Okay, so here we're gonna have to change a lot of stuff because her model is asymmetric. Which means we gotta swap this shirt around. For it to make sense a little bit. But since she's got her back... Here we go. In all of the Mega Man Star Force games, there is at least one issue with it. Uh-oh. It's one of those series where they're always trying to change something and they always end up finding a new way to create issues with the game, huh? Okay. I see, I see. Honestly, now that I think about it, she has really long hair. her back sprite is not gonna be that hard to make. I am adding details that I don't even need to add. Hold up. Characters with long hair, their back sprites is just gonna be the hair. The first one's too slow, the second one counter hate is damn high, and third one is actually quite okay. Oh, is she cute? Yep, I am working on a lot of cute VTubers with a lot of cute VTubers design today. Now, am I cute? You're cute, don't worry. You're cute, Lunatic is cute, Chat is very cute. Why, Lunatic? Why are you suffering today? Okay, so for this one, we are gonna have to... The boy. Well, think about it this way, Lunatic. At least you're not watching them play lobotomy. At least you're not watching them play lobotomy. You did? Uh-oh. God, I wonder how badly I would fuck up playing lobotomy. Though I'll be real, watching Momonchi play that game feels really daunting to me, because I'm like, I'm not entirely sure I want to play a roguelike that takes over 100 hours to beat. They dealt with a pocket bird by sending a nugget into shelter from 27 March and just waited. But they dealt with it. So that counts. But isn't that fun, Lunatic? That's the fun of seeing different people playing different games. You get like, sometimes you will get the person having their own unique touch to defeating the game. And I think that's pretty awesome. When the game allows for that, of course. You can't do that in over-linear games, unfortunately. Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. I had a moment yesterday. I was looking for music to practice for my singing lesson, right? Just like in either optimizer time. Lunatic, you're in the VTuber space. Your inner optimizer better be a masochist. Honestly. I I don't think VTubers are well known for optimal gameplay. For instance, technically the only VTuber I know that played the first Mega Man game was able to clear it in only 15 hours. I think the game can be sped run in like 10 minutes. And yeah, 15 hours. I hope I'm able to take. I hope I can beat her record. Hopefully, I'll be able to beat her time. Am I in the wrong layer? No. Why am I not able to do this? Mega Man Zero speedruns is insane. Honestly, to me, all speedruns are insane. There is beauty to them because it's like, it's something that you have to rehearse. It is so amazing. And at the same time, it always just feels a little bit insulting that the game that should take a long time to beat gets beaten in like 15 minutes or something. But then you gotta remind yourself that this is a person that actually sunk in months to try and get that performance. While you sunk in exactly the time it took for you to beat and then move it on with your life. So honestly, it is a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. I'm not sure if I had the patience to try to do speedruns though. Though I do know someone in our community that does speedruns. She does mostly for Mario games and Zelda randomizers. Dart Icarus. Ow. I mean, I could try to speedrun Zero. You hit! Congratulations! Your reward is my pain. Oh, I forgot to take the tail. Now it kind of looks like she has a big blue. Anyways, let me yank that off. Yeah, kind of like I figured. After the tail and the hair are done, there isn't a whole lot of room for even the legs. I keep forgetting to add that to my stream. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna put it up eventually. I just need to remember. There we go. Start of every scene, gonna fuck you on it. Okay. Probably what I need to remember, honestly. And as for the hand, theoretically... Nope, don't even need to do that. Okay. There we go, second back sprite done. This one fitted so well that I didn't even need it. Usually I need to like put the head a bit forward or something like that. This one just looks right though. Okay, I think this one's gonna be a bit more of a challenge for us. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I had a moment yesterday, chat. I was picking music to... I was listening to music, trying to pick one to practice for singing lessons today. Right? And I found this one music that's like Toby Fox original. I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Ever Blue Skies. It's a cute music, it has a good beat. But while I was hearing it, it actually got me teary-eyed. That's like, weird. Why am I actually getting emotional over this song that I didn't listen to before? Hit me in the soul, it did, it did. And then I figured it out, because the music is about a video game NPC. Not an NPC, I think she was like the main love interest for the main character. And the music has a little story where she's singing about how happy she is to be part of the adventure. Nope. Not always, at least. Not always, at least. But like it's like a little song about how she is she likes the hero, she's in love with the hero. Even though he can't say anything else other than yes or no, which is like a really cute nod to the old silent protagonist, right? And when the story ends, she was going to confess her love to the hero, but she can't, and she's like, oh, it's nothing that can't be said another day. But of course, it's a game, and the person who's playing ends up forgetting about their Game Boy. It gets like added to the pile of toys and stuff like that. It just becomes forgotten. And she isn't able to tell him. Hello, Medina! I'm talking about music that made me cry yesterday. How are you doing today? Hello, Ninjalins. The character looks very cute. She does. Good cry, good cry, good cry. I think it's called Skies Ever Blue. It's by Toby Fox. I'm nippy, but otherwise well. Donated some blood and beat. Ah, yeah. Donating blood, he can be exhausting. Take care to rest, Medina. But yeah, so basically the NPC never confesses her love to the hero, and the person who played the game ended up losing their Game Boy in the pile of stuff in the room. And then after a really long time, he finds the game again. But the game is all glitchy and falling apart. And then the song picks up. But the guy still tries to play the game one more time. And the NPC is like, okay, this time, while the world is falling apart, I will tell you. And then she confesses her love right at the end, and the save file dies. And the song ends. And it got me super teary-eyed. It got me super teary-eyed. Blood money. No, don't do blood money. It's just to get the right thing. It was so cute. And honestly, it was one of the reasons it got to me. I realize it's because it was relatable. Because I had kind of a similar experience with a game I played a long time ago when I was little on my Game Boy Color. It was a Zelda game. What? I'm Yaru now. Take a selfie. So it was... What was the name again? What was the name of the game? Yaru Time. No, that wasn't the name of the game. Would have been a great game though. It was called Yaru Time. But this game was great regardless. It was Legend of Zelda, not Ocarina of Time, not Link to the Past. Bokin the Bokin. Ah, what was the name? It got a remake not long ago. Hold up. Let me look that up. Boy Color Zelda. It was one of the first one. Link's Awakening, that's the one. That's the one. I think Minish Cap was already for the Advance, right? Yeah, so Link's Awakening sort of had a similar plot beat. It was. Because the story in that is... spoiler alert for a 10-year-old game, I guess. Good God, laptop's frustrating me so much. It's really old and constantly lagging, not responding. I need to use it to work. Oh no, good luck, lunatic. Where's the character you draw from? Design rings me a bell. Literally, they're VTubers that Whisk asked me to add to their intro screen. So this one is Riera. This one I wasn't told the name, but they look familiar to someone I already did a commission for a while ago. But yeah, they're all VTubers. This one seems to be a coffee shop VTuber. A barista VTuber. Which I think is like a really good team for a VTuber, honestly. Like barista VTuber sounds awesome. Technically, Hato is a barista VTuber, huh? Now that I think about it. Is Hato technically a barista VTuber? They do have a coffee shop. Oops, forgot that tomorrow I need to get up early. Oh no, retro gamers, be careful. Hato has a lounge. What's the difference, though? What's the difference between a lounge? Meaning I have to go early this time around. Don't worry about it, retro gamers. Real life first. Real life first. Do you pay to lounge at the lounge? What do you do at a lounge exactly? Oh no, the more I think about it. Bye bye, Retro Gamer. Have a good one. Good luck with your work. Bye bye. And the string is on Sunday. Have a good one. Atto has like a really big lore, right? Ask at Google, a room in a private home or public building for leisure activities, living room, lobby, a room that's usually public building, vehicle, often combining lounging, smoking, and toilet facilities. So no coffee. Huh. But he has so much coffee theming going on. But he has a bunch of coffee theming though. What? I guess his lounge has coffee. Atto's lounge is the cooler lounge. I guess. Atto Lounge is the cooler lounge. It's a lounge with caffeine, booze, and hookers. Was that how the Futurama meme went? I think it was something like that. And Futurama was a good show until it wasn't. My understanding is that the writing got weird in the later seasons. Futurama was good, it was. There was that one character I really didn't like, the captain guy. It was a little bit too much dude bro for me. Even if the point was to make fun of dude bros, he was still a little bit too much. Robo Satan was cool. Robo Satan was cool. It was really funny how robots took everything that was like a legend in human culture and just turned it into a real thing. I like it, Santa. I like it, Santa. Robo Santa was amazing. He brought people together to cower in fear. So many memories. Yeah, bad guy, but not a bad guy. It was a good show. Did you try watching Enchanted? I think it's called Charmed, not Enchanted. Charmed. high fantasy Matt Groening show that's on Netflix. I kind of wish they would release the final season already. I did, but it kind of misses me. Not sure why base is there, but it does not land. Everything feels a little bit off about the show, doesn't it? Just a second. I need some tissues. Hold up. Ah, my allergies. There you go. It has a few good moments, it has a few bad moments, has a few what the heck moments. I don't know if it's the timing or the setting, because it's like, it's high fantasy, but it's also... It's kind of Shrekish, if you stop to think about it, right? It's Shrek-ish, but it's not quite Shrek. Know what I mean? Or is it a Futurama thing in different setting with different characters that make it weird? Yeah... Maybe. Maybe. There are a lot of similarities between some of the characters and the cast of Futurama, right? The little devil thing is pretty much Bender. Okay, so... For her, we're gonna have to do a walk cycle. I'm gonna do this now. Yeah, you think it's a character you know, but only 90% there, so expectations and reality are different. Ah, thank you, Medina. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I got working on this over yesterday and over the weekend, mostly because, well, I needed Whiskey's approval before I started animating. Sometimes, like, I work on stuff without asking, but almost always doesn't. It's not like a good idea to do that, you know? You gotta ask your customer if they like what you do. Because if you animate and there's like a little detail, sometimes if it's just a little detail, it's not that bad. But like if it's a big thing that you need to change, it's just pain. It's just pain. So yeah, asking first, very important. Very important. It's just bread in French. Exactly, it's fun. There we go, there we go. But yeah, so I ended up crying over that song because it hit me pretty close home to the Link's Awakening game. In that game, you meet a cute NPC girl that tells you all about her life, her dreams, the things she likes, the things she doesn't like, right? And I remember growing very attached to her. But the story, the plot of the story was that the world I was trapped in was actually not real. It was the dream of this big creature, this flying whale creature, right? And they dreamed up that whole island, and everyone that was in it, every NPC that you interact with is just part of the dream. But her dream, the whale's dream, got flying fish, I think it was windfish, it was the name, but it's a whale, got infected by a nightmare, and the nightmare was keeping the windfish asleep. So we would only be able to escape the dream if the windfish awoke. But if the windfish awoke, then everyone in the dream would stop existing. That's cruel. It is. And here's the kicker. You couldn't even really choose to stay in the dream forever, because the nightmare was corroding the dream, so everyone was either doomed to an eternity of suffering at the hands of the nightmare, or doomed to disappear forever. And honestly, up until that point, I never experienced anything like that in a game before, right? So my mind was blown, and it was a really sad thing. It was a really sad thing. So basically, that music reminded me of that. Wow, this lag is not good. See, we're gonna need to... It hit very close to home. It hit very close to home. And like, it kind of sucks too. Because it's like, oh, this song is really pretty, I wanna sing it, but how the fuck am I gonna sing it if I'm crying while listening to it? So I ended up going with another song. Yeah, I still wanna sing that one at one point, but I guess I gotta work out the trauma first. Some songs are meant to be listened to. That is true. I haven't given up entirely on singing it though. I'm just gonna need to get used to it first. Pretty good song though. Pretty good song. Do, 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 do. God, I love good games. I love games that make you care about stuff, you know? It's so good. It's so good. Have you played Bastion? Bastion... Bastion... I think I have it on my Steam list. I don't remember if I played it. I might have played just the beginning. I might have played just the beginning of it. Oh, interesting. Some Warframe quest made me cry. I hear the story gets like really good later in the game. And that the community keeps the spoilers, the spoilerinos from leaking. Because they want to make sure people get surprised by the turns of how the game turns out to be. That is really cool. That is really cool. Very hard too. Very hard too. Not getting spoiled at today's day and age is, in a sense, being spoiled. Although outside of seeing a few characters here and there, I have not been spoiled to what actually happens in the Deltarune and stuff. But probably if I look at a little bit harder, I would be spoiled of it. Speaking of good games, yeah, but I think I'll go now. Too EP for anything. Alright, Medina, go take a good rest. Don't forget to replenish your iron. After all, you donated blood today, so catch you next time, okay? Thank you so much for the coffee time. Maybe until later or see you soon. Thank you. Thank you for dropping by, Medina. I really appreciate it. I need to sneeze. Actually, I didn't sneeze. Weird. You know when you think you're gonna sneeze and then you just don't? Yeah. That's what happened. Here we go. Here we are. I found an interesting YouTube channel yesterday. Basically, what they do is one of the series they have in there is they will play mobile games with the express intent of spending money whenever the game tells them to spend money and see how much money they lose that way. The idea of the series is what happens when you let the gacha take control of your wallet. I thought it was interesting because it's one of those things. If you ever played a mobile game that bombards you with stuff and you're kind of like, there's a part of you that's gonna wonder, what the hell would happen if I'd actually listen to the call of the whale? And was like, oh my god, this is such good value in this game that I barely know anything about and play. I'm gonna buy it. What happens to the game if you actually listen and start buying everything? And honestly, the answer for that actually varies a lot. The answer for that seems to vary a lot. There are some games that it will straight up ruin your experience of the game and the experience of anyone around you at the same time. Especially in the PvP ones. There was one where any joy that the guy could experience from playing the game and winning was drained away by the fact that he was so overpowered. He didn't really need to do anything, he didn't need to dodge anyone's attacks, he didn't really need to do anything because he had bought a overpowered character that could heal through anything. To the point where he was like 1v5ing or something like that. And he could just walk up to the enemy spawn point and farm them there. And he had to do it because that was the premise of the show, basically. He was apologizing to everyone that was in their match later, though. And he donates part of the money that he gets from the videos to charity to, I don't know, sorta make it up. But it's still interesting. It was definitely interesting. It was also interesting because I don't play a lot of mobile games. It makes you like just really appreciate what Project Moon did. With Limbus. Because Jesus Christ, there's so many ways you can be exploitative and predatory in mobile games that they could have put it in their game but decided not to, right? Like, I didn't even notice this, but Limbus doesn't have pop-ups for like for microtransactions. They don't really tell you that you have a battle pass. They don't have like a screen that interrupts everything. So like, hey, get the battle pass. The battle pass super value. You have to actually go to their stores on your own and look that up if you want to buy the battle pass. There is like a small reminder that the battle pass exists, but that's it, right? And it's incredible how, compared to what these other games do, this is so tame. It is actually incredible how tame it is. Yeah. New frame. There we go. It's just scary. It's just scary. Like stuff that games like Cookie Run will do. This was one thing I didn't know existed, right? So the guy played one Cookie Run game, I think it's the OG Cookie Run, where of course you had to roll for characters, you had to roll for cookies, right? And that's pretty normal. You have to, in order to upgrade, you need to get like spare cookies and stuff like that. That's all pretty standard. What got me like, oh holy crap, what is this, was the fact that whenever you rolled for a hard to get cookie, there would be a pop-up that would appear in front of you, offering you a bundle that would sell you shards for that cookie. You haven't even gotten to play with the cookie yet. You don't know if it's good or bad. You don't know if it fits your playstyle or whatever. You don't know if it fits your comp or anything like that. But hey, click here right now and you can level up the cookie. Level up the cookie now. Come on, don't even think about it. Just level it up. Level it up. You know you want to. Look how shiny that cookie is. You want to upgrade that cookie, right? Click here. Buy it now. Buy the upgrade. Buy the upgrade now. You don't want to save it for later. It's gonna be hard to upgrade it later. Come on, do it. Do it now. 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 Like, Jesus Christ. And then, if you say yes, and because of the theme of the video, the guy had to, it offers you another pop-up. Because you didn't upgrade it fully, you fool. Are you really gonna leave the chance to upgrade it fully for later? Just pay some more. Just pay some more. So basically the game tempts you with leveling up your cookie for an X amount, and then it asks for more money, so you don't think how much you're paying in total. You pay the amount in 2 installments instead of 1, basically. So you don't think about it. So you don't think too much about it. That is pretty sneaky. That is pretty sneaky. I didn't know that was a thing. Apparently it's way more common than I thought it would be, because there were other games that did very similar things. There was a Marvel game that did that too. Actually, there was a Marvel game that did like a really rip-offy thing. Because it would sell, it would like offer bundles for characters whenever you leveled up. But the characters all sucked. Okay, Lunatic. The characters straight up all suck at ass. The characters that you'd pay money for were kinda bad. And it was like a weird bundle thing where you would buy the character bundle. It would give you shards for the character. You could use these shards to craft the base version of the character, and then you would need to like log in again for 7 days to get all the upgrade material for the character that you technically bought. So you bought a bundle that would eventually give you a fully upgraded character, but technically you also need to stop playing and wait for 7 days for the character to be fully upgradable. Which I don't even know it's predatory, it's just, huh? Wouldn't I want it now though? Am I not spending money because I don't want to spend time? Why do you want me to spend money and time? And it's like, because it's an incentive for you to log in again, and when you log in again, you see something new and shiny that you can buy, and then you buy it again. But like, it was still kind of a weird model. So anyways, what I learned from that is that I really like projectables. And I really hope their game's monetization never reached this level of eek. People are complaining about the power creep, but Jesus Christ, they have no idea. We have no idea how well we're eating. Like, yeesh. It is very scary out there. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, no, a loop with 4 is good enough. That's what I was... Oops. Ah, where did I put my... Yeah, there is a lot. Okay, here we go. Found it. Okay. It is. It is. So over here. And it is. Right. Plus this. Leave part here. Part here. Get this. There we go. There we go. Man, so many bots. Apparently it is the season to be botting. Oh god. September is coming. You know what that means? That means October is coming. And when October is coming, people will pretend it's December already. Because they wanna sell stuff for Christmas. And then Mariah Carey will be on Frozen. And sing about what she wants for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is you. No, Mariah Carey, you can't have my blood so you can sustain your youth another year. It's been too many years. Please stop. There we go. Welcome back, Lunatic. How's the Uptilus run of Mirror Dungeon going? Also, they are trying Mirror Dungeon hard mode. Right, because Mirror Dungeon regular mode upties automatically. Maybe that's why they didn't want to uptie, they didn't know that. Please tell me that was why. Made the pants a little bit too puffy. Here you go. I went to the bathroom to trim my mustache and stuff and found a massive cockroach near the sink. I have unleashed cattle upon it. Oh, that's the advantage of having cattle, yes. When a cockroach appears, I usually have to hide Doggo. Although my doggo is a special case because she has way too many digestive issues to be able to eat a cockroach and get away with it. And if she got, she would probably try to eat it. Because of the way we all react with cockroaches around the house, She thinks they are like poisonous or something, so she doesn't try. Also, the run finished a while ago and no easy mirror dungeon does not auto-apply, it auto-levels. Ah, just auto-levels, you still need to apply, okay. So at least they were doing easy mode mirror dungeon, right? I see. Okay, I am getting a picture, a more clear picture of what is going on. If they just finished Canto 2, it makes sense that they don't think the appetite is necessary because Canto 2, up to Canto 2 is relatively easy. You don't really need maxed out characters yet. But the mirror dungeon, it's its own little beastie. So did I manage to finish the mirror dungeon? Probably, right? It's still easy mode, it shouldn't be too hard. They finished it fine, honestly. Nice! Ah, my farm empties. Yeah, that one will take a while, usually, if you don't have, like, a powerful negative stat thing. If you don't have a lot of status effect, it's gonna be a bit harder. I am trying to test something. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Nah. Nah. I think I'd rather keep this simple. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. It's an honest walk cycle. So let's see. According to Whiskey's notes for her, her animation is popping, sip some coffee, and relax. So what we can do for her, second animation we can do for her is one where she's walking in and greeting. So we can change her facial expression here. Where she's doing like a little happy grin. Yeah, no open mouth, ref. So kind of like this. Hmm. Yep. And we can take this hand here. And it's like doing a little greeting. Something like this. And this. There we go. There we go. Oh, also, chat. I gotta say, there is one anime this season that there are a few actually. I already talked about Clevatas, but there is this other one anime that is really popping off for me. It's called Gachikuta. And like, it's technically a very shonen anime, but at the same time, the way they do things in the anime is so interesting. Hey kitty kitty, it is, isn't it? It's very lit, it's amazing. My god, the battle that happened this week was so cool. It was so cool. It's been a while. It's been a while. Honestly, not that I like fighting anime, but it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I watched an anime where I was very, very invested in the battle choreography itself. You know? It's been a hot minute. It was done super well. It was done super well. The way they're dealing with everything, it's like super good. Because, spoiler alert, I guess, the protagonist has the type of power that theoretically can be anything. But it's done pretty well. It's done pretty well. The power systems are very new. They are. They feel very fresh. Okay, she's a cat girl. She has to have a fang, right? Can I put a fang on her? I really want to put a fang on her. Ah, you missed it. But like, it was so good. Basically, the fight, the best way I can describe the fight from the last episode was a reverse shonen battle. Not all cat girls show their fangs. That is fair. That is fair. Well, technically this one's already edited, so... There you go. But yeah, it was so good. It was so good. It was like The protagonist awakens a super OP power, but the antagonist starts testing what the power can do and adapts to it. And I'm like, oh my god. The protagonist didn't awaken their new hot superpower and won instantly. The antagonist actually has a brain and can adapt to it. What is this? I'm too used to Isekai's Lop? What is this writing? What's the name of this? Gachikuta. Gachiakuta. Thank you, Momochi. Thank you. It's super well made. It's super well made. The protagonist struggles, but he isn't really annoying about it. He's got some anger issues, but they are like very valid. It kind of goes a little bit the opposite way of another anime that started season. By the way, there's an anime that started the season that has an almost similar name. Let me see if I can find the name. Blood anime. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tougen Anki started the season. This one I did not like as much. This one's a bit weird for me. Gachakuta is really good. Gachakuta basically... The main plot is you have a protagonist that pretty much falls from heaven without knowing he was living in heaven. And discovers a world that is filled with the junk that the elite that lives in heaven keeps throwing away. And they are basically destroying the world below them. People have to reallocate every time they dump a massive amount of trash. The trash pollutes the earth, creates miasma. And from that miasma, junk monsters are born too. And in order to fight the junk monsters, there are people who develop powers where they can basically extract the soul of items. Like anything. Could be a used pen. You extract the soul of a used pen and use it to fight. It's super cool. It's super cool. It's a little bit like stands, if you stop to think about it. And people can have different gimmicks. Sometimes they don't really necessarily have a gimmick. They just can hit hard with a thing or make it extend. Some of the powers are really complicated. Some of the powers are really simple. And yet, you can't underestimate people with simple powers. The antagonist I was talking about technically had like a really, really simple power. I wouldn't say extract, but more like bring out the full potential of an item. That is true, that is true. It's based on... It's actually based on a type of... Did you know that that show is actually based on a type of yokai, Kitty Kitty? So the show... what the show explains about how objects that are very old and well maintained gaining a soul is a Japanese tradition. It's called Tsumogami, and it's technically a type of yokai. Like, for instance, so the object can become a yokai if it stops being respected, essentially. The object will hold a grudge and then it becomes a yokai. The Tsumogami turns into yokai if they are discarded improperly. I think you would actually have to have something similar to a burial, to like a... not quite a funeral, but you would have to discard the object with respect when it reached the end of its utility. Otherwise, the spirit in the object could actually come back to haunt you as a yokai. Which, by the way, is exactly what is happening with the monsters in the show. The junk monsters, they are definitely junk that got pissed off for being thrown away just like that. There is also a very creepy yokai that's very adjacent to the Tsumogami. It's the creepy doll. There are these Japanese dolls that are put up particularly during Children's Day in Japan. And one of the utility that those dolls have is that they can absorb negative energies. So the idea is that the doll will shield you from negative energies and will accumulate onto themselves instead. The problem with that is, if they accumulate too much negative energy, then shit starts getting creepy around them. Some of them will end up having things happening to them where their hair starts to grow. The doll's hair will start to grow indefinitely. And you start hearing like weird noises around them. So they need to be purified. So these dolls need to be purified from time to time. If you purify them from time to time, it's fine. I am so sorry, but I think I forgot. I forgot. Sorry. I like yokai, okay? I think they're neat. So sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. What is that? Okay, I'll save the ukulele for another time. Wait, I thought I was coloring, but I wasn't. Lep. There we go. I'm gonna head to sleep now, so you may continue the story and stuff. Don't worry about it, Lunatic, and have a good Nini. Thank you very much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Hallucinations? Oh no. Be careful. Well, anyways. So yeah, the Gachikuta, I'm gonna talk about the anime now. Maybe it will help us. So the protagonist, although he lived in the city in the sky, that is considered very privileged compared to the rest of the place. He did live in the slums there, but everyone in the surface still hates him. Because to them, it's like, what class difference? What's the class difference? You're part of the people who are dumping literal garbage on top of us. Who gives a fuck? So it's a pretty interesting story overall. It's a pretty interesting story. I really like it. One that didn't really do it for me though is the Tougen Anki anime. That one I did not like. It's an anime that has a very weird vibe. I don't know if you guys got to see it. Because like Gachikuta, it's very shonen-like. But where Gachikuta kind of tries to break the mold in good places and figure out new ways to tell the story and do cool fights and stuff like that. Tougen Anki feels like it's trying really hard to speedrun the usual shonen plot points and get to the good part, quotation marks. It feels kind of rushed and it feels weirdly predictable. Is basically the vibe that I got from the anime. Now, I'm gonna have to be very honest when I say what the vibe of the anime that I got. The vibe of the anime that I got was that it was Blue Exorcist at home. It feels very Blue Exorcist adjacent to me. This is my very subjective opinion, of course. If you like it, pop off. I like Blue Exorcist better, though. I like Blue Exorcist better. It feels like a very similar story. It's trying. There are things it's trying to do different, though. I have to give credit where credit is due. Where usually in these stories you have like the character who is half demon, right? Will usually join an association where he learns to use his half demon powers to protect humans. In this one, the half demon, he's not even half demon, technically he's an Oni. He just didn't know he was an Oni. He goes to Oni school to learn how to use his Oni powers to help protect other Onis that are being hunted by humans. That calling them humans is kind of a bit of a stretch because they have weird bacteria powers. It's been explained as bacteria powers, which is... that's the choice you make, okay. Reminds me a little bit of midichlorians. I'm not sure I want to talk about midichlorians, but here we are. Weird, but okay. And basically, it's like there are the descendants of the Onis and the descendants of the Momotaros, because the Momotaro story is real. But the Onis haven't really done anything bad outside of existing and maybe going berserk on occasion. Which apparently is the whole justification for pretty much genocide from the part of the Momotaros. The Momotaros want to genocide the Onis. And the Onis are like, no, we don't want to be genocided. We're gonna fight you guys. So that's kinda the plot. That's kinda the plot. The protagonist had an adoptive father who we learn in the first episode is actually an ex-Momotaro. He used to be with the guys who hunted Onis, but then something happens and he decided to raise an Oni child instead of killing it. So that's the protagonist. The father died in the first episode. We didn't really get a lot of time to get attached to him, like at all. Nor did we get like some hyper ultra charismatic moment with him. Which is kind of what I meant when I said that it feels like it's trying to rush things a little bit too much. It really wants to get to the part where the protagonist is like learning his powers and fighting and doing stuff like that, but it realizes the characters need a backstory. And they want to do the backstory from the start. They don't want to do like flashbacks, which might have worked better if the intent was to speed run to the good part, so to speak. There's of course an argument to be had whether or not just keeping to the fight really is just keeping to the good part or not, but regardless. What I got from the anime was that they absolutely had the intention of getting to the fighting as soon as possible. And they do a lot of weird stuff too. They do a lot of weird stuff. The pacing feels all over the place. On episode 2, the character gets interviewed by his mentor, and they roll out the quirky character trait immediately off the gate, where the teacher is an efficiency maniac, is what he self-described himself as. He is such an efficiency maniac that he uses a pair of rollerblades to go everywhere. He doesn't walk. It's very weird. It's very weird. It's a curious show. It's a curious show. The vibes feel off in that show for me. The vibes feel very off in that show for me. Kinda like this leg bending feels a little bit off here. You know, this absolutely feels weird here. Let me see. Oh yeah, and I forgot, didn't even get around to talk about the power system. So the villain's power system is bacteria fueled. Basically, they throw out a apparently bacteria filled cloud with like black spots, and they can use that to like materialize weapons. Basically, just do any sort of bullshit that the author wants them to do, because, you know, standard shonen power, that's how it works, right? It is whatever you want it to be. It's your story, you get to decide what anything does. Meanwhile, the Onis, they have blood powers. Essentially, they are bloodbenders. But they can't bloodbend into anything. They can only bloodbend their blood into specific stuff. So the main character can bloodbend guns. The teacher can bloodbend an umbrella, which is an enormous coincidence because the first guy the main character in Gachikuta meets is someone with umbrella-related powers. Which, now that I think about it, it's a really odd coincidence. What are the odds of that, actually? Two mentor figures with umbrella-related powers? I guess it was raining that day when they decided to assign powers to their characters. But anyways. So they have blood powers, and the blood powers look very bloody. In fact, it looks a little bit too bloody. In fact, I am pretty sure if someone has like blood phobia, I forget, it's hemophobia or something like that, this anime would trigger them badly. Because it's like, it's super bloody. Whenever they fight, it's super bloody because of all the blood they leave around. And I got to an episode that there was a Momotaro guy who could use his bacteria to infect dead bodies and essentially T-virus. His power was essentially T-virus. He could make zombies. He could make zombies out of anyone that he killed. And this was a big problem in the episode because they were being introduced to an emergency unit, and a bunch of people who died were brought in, and what they didn't know was that the zombie guy had infected all of the corpses that were there. And now they have pretty much a zombie outbreak in there. But at the same time, like I said, this anime has like some really weird vibes about it, so they go about it in a very almost unpleasant way, for me at least. Basically, early in the show, in the episode, they introduced this little girl whose parents were killed in action. They were agents who were fighting the Momotaros, and they died fighting them. And the little girl was crying over their dead parents' body when they got up and started attacking her. So I think she is traumatized forever now. Because her parents, the same day that her parents died, they came back to life to kill her, and then someone had to blow their brains out in front of her. Huh. That's a very accurate song to play right now. That's very fitting. What a fitting song. It's hard to describe though, it's hard to describe, but the vibes in the anime just feel kind of off. They even had a segment that felt like Naruto. They did something that was very similar to the tuning exam with the Forest of Death. They kind of did the same thing. It's very weird. It's a very weird show. It's a very weird show. Watch it and tell me if you like it. I personally didn't, but I might just keep watching just because I want to try to understand it better. Part of me wants to understand why it doesn't work for me. I don't know if you ever got that. Like, there's a piece of media that you're like, okay, so this follows a certain formula or pattern that I should like, you know, that it should be alright, should work alright, but then it doesn't really. And sometimes when that happens to me, at least, it picks up my interest. It's like, okay, why is this, which in a theoretical level should somewhat resonate with me, is like not working at all? But, you know, I'm a little bit weird like that. I get interested by weird things. Sometimes I get interested by not being interested, which is Huh. And there are times where the reason why I'm not interested is pretty obvious. In which case, there is nothing to see there. That happens to be the case with a bunch of isekai. I saw an interesting video on that. It was by Mother's Basement. They were talking about isekai and they were proposing that isekai had an issue. That isekai slop, people are calling it isekai slop nowadays. That should tell you enough. That isekai shows nowadays have an inherent issue that they didn't really had way back when, and they start addressing a lot of it, and then they come to the conclusion, which is the crux of it. And I was pleasantly surprised because the conclusion was something that I think I said here once. Something that I complained, not something that I was like, oh, this is absolutely what's wrong with isekai nowadays, kids. Not quite like that, but I did note that it was something that displeased me with how they're doing isekais. And that thing was, drum rolls, the protagonists don't try to go away from the isekai. The protagonists don't try to leave the isekai anymore. And that is kinda intrinsic to the formula of every good isekai story, is that you absolutely should have a protagonist that wants to go home. If the protagonist doesn't want to go home, it's essentially a story about a guy who lived here and now he lives there, and he is just dicking around, and living there was way better than living here. That's all. It lacks a fundamental driving motion, right? Characters need like objectives. They can't just be passively witnessing things happening around them and reacting to it. They need to have stakes too. And the best way, honestly, one of the easiest ways to give your character some stakes in this sort of stuff. I keep saying stakes. Ow. Ow. Anyways, is to make them want to go home. Maybe they don't want to go home at first, but then they realize something while they're in the isekai that makes them want to go home. Because otherwise, and I think this is an actual issue. I do think this is an actual issue. Paraphrasing what Mother's Basement said was, otherwise the moral of your anime is, well, maybe you're being overexplored by your boss, or you're being bullied in school, but cheer up. Maybe one day you will too get hit by a truck. It's like, you know, with there's like a mental health crisis happening. I don't think this is the moral, a good moral story moral for not a good, it's not a very useful, it's not a very useful takeaway from the story, you know. It's not very useful. That actually reminds me, when I was younger at least, I always took a bit of an issue with the term escapism. I don't know why, it never quite quite sat right with me. Why can't I just enjoy a game? Why do I need to be escaping something to enjoy the game, you know? It always felt weird. I get the concept, but there was something about it that always rubbed me a little bit off about it, and I can't quite put my finger in it. I guess it's because the idea of escaping kinda implies an idea of giving up. And I didn't really like that. It's like... It almost felt judgmental in a sense. Like, I mean, here I am, just trying to enjoy a game in peace. And it's like, ah, so you're escaping reality now, huh? And like, no, bro, I'm in reality. I just want to clear this level of Lion King. But it's an expression that ended up being adopted by gamers, I suppose. I don't know. I do believe that words have power. In the sense that the way you describe something will cognitively contextualize it. Sorry, I don't have a better way to say that. But essentially, the words you use for your activities will create a context in your mind. And because you gotta repeat your words over and over, right? They will like kinda record a message, so to speak, in your mind about what you're doing. Like, if enjoying pornography is being a degenerate, right? Then that will lead you... It's like the word degenerate has an implied judgment to it, right? So that even if you're like just joking about it, it kind of leaves you with the imprint that what you're doing is wrong. As an example. Which is why I'm not too sure about the term escapism. What if instead of escapism, you said you were just taking a breather from reality, you know? But I don't know. Probably silly. Probably just a silly consideration. I could just be rambling. Oh, Mamachi, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hmm? There we go. Okay, so we got salt crackers with jelly. No, Jen. I think it's strawberry or cherry. Très bien, mon chéri. But yeah, chat, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that sometime. Mm. Mm. Okay, so here I wanna do this. Hold up. I am trying to visualize this in 3D thinking essentially. So what do we want to do here is lower this part here. Lower the buttons too. Put in a bit back here. Like this. But yeah, in a sense, modern isekai is like peak escapism. For better or for worse. And apparently it resonates very well. It pulls in a lot of numbers. Hey! You know what? Maybe I should do a tabletop RPG system where you can make your own isekai. Wouldn't that be fun? maybe like a system where... So I actually had this idea recently, chat. Basically a tabletop RPG campaign where you, instead of like building your class regularly, you would build your character from the previous world, essentially. And then the first season is basically you picking out a class. So kind of like a system where there would be like archetypes that you get to pick. Or maybe like a cheat skill, something that like defines your stat. You have like one thing that defines your stats, one thing that gives you like a unique power, and that adds on top of your knowledge as a person in the modern world. So your skill set, your skill set is your knowledge. Your know-how is based on your past life, your physical capabilities is based on the archetype, and you get a unique skill to go with that. Like a magical weapon or something. I can probably do it in 3D too, actually. I'd probably need to take some time off to think about it, but I think there's something there. I think that could be something. Now the real question is, do I make it as a serious thing? Or do I make it as a parody thing? Which is almost asking, do I try to genuinely fix the genre and pick out the parts that I actually like about it to engage with it? Or do I just use the parts that I don't like about it to make fun of it? Is the question. Which is basically asking, do I engage with this seriously or ironically? Because honestly, both work. Both just work. Maybe I could make a system that's flexible for both. Maybe I could make a system that starts out as a parody and turns into an actual story. That actually reminded me, I saw an isekai long ago. I saw only one episode because honestly the isekai was kind of making me sad. It was basically a guy who finds a portal to another world in his grandfather's basement. And when he levels up in the isekai world, his stats go up in the real world, so he grinds and becomes handsome. He starts out as chubby, not conventionally attractive, everyone hates him for no reason. I mean, the reason was because he was ugly, is essentially. But then he finds the isekai world, he becomes a Chad by grinding in front of a magical barrier. He kinda waits for the monsters to come and hits him with a sword from a safe distance until he levels up enough. And it got kind of sad because... No, it's not Ugly Mug Epic Fighter. It was an older one. It was an older one. Ugly Mug Epic Fighter is at least a comedy, kinda. No, this one, the guy becomes beautiful from leveling up. And it got kind of sad because you could feel the wish fulfillment, but the wish fulfillment is like, I wish I had friends and people didn't treat me like crap. Sure, the cute girl being interested in me is nice and all, but I just wish people didn't treat me like dirt. Which he got in like episode 2. So not much tension there, I suppose. But I also kind of genuinely felt bad for the guy. You could say they made the sub story a little bit too effective on that one. Also, I've also developed this very strange theory that, you know, anime that's like very dramatic. Hold up, let me eat this gen. You know, anime that's like very tragic and dramatic, where a person will literally get bullied by everything and everyone for absolutely no discernible reason. Everyone just hates them, and there is like no real evidence or reason of why they might hate them. It's like everyone just treats them like dirt for literally no reason. Depending on the anime, where like they try like really hard to be like, and this person is tragically hated by everyone, but they absolutely never done anything wrong. There's a part of me that, from what little bit I know about this, there's a part of me that's like, oh, that's kind of a POV of a narcissist. Not saying that it doesn't happen, right? But like, absolutely no reason. Usually there's a reason. It may not be a good one, but usually there is a reason. There is like a discernible reason why. You can usually figure out why someone wouldn't like you. I had an experience that was kind of like that. When I was in college, I was doing a course, right, on... I was doing, what was the how do I translate the name of the class? It was basically introduction to economics, right? And we had this assignment that was supposed to be our... We had like this one paper that we had to deliver at the end of the semester, where we had to do an analysis on balance sheets of different, of like energy companies or something like that, right? And basically I drew like the shortest stick ever, because I was assigned to a group with some people that I didn't knew, and everyone in my group quit the course. So I was left alone to do a group project that required like 4 or 5 people. The teacher saw that. The guys who quit the class, they like did nothing. I was left with nothing to work with. All I had was my own research, which wasn't much, because I kept trying to get them to bend up, right? And it wasn't working out. Probably that's why they quit the class, because they just didn't have the time to actually study at that point. So the teacher saw this and he decided to transfer me to another group. And oh boy, did I get in trouble because of it. At the time, it took me a while to fully process what had happened. But essentially, the teacher also, in order to incentivize the students to try hard on their project, was going to put the class work on some sort of like prestigious thing, right? And I got assigned to a group of these girls who were like taking the assignment hyper serious. They were like, we're gonna get our work exhibit there, and we're gonna use that as like a trampoline for our future careers, because we really want to follow this specific path, right? So I got assigned to this group, and I didn't quite realize that I got assigned to this group. If I did, I would have been like more alert of what was going to happen, because I thought they were okay. In fact, they were very angry with me being there, with the teacher putting me there. And they figured that I was going to steal their glory. They already had so much work done already, and I was probably not gonna be any help at all. So we had like a Discord group. It wasn't Discord at the time, but you know, Discord adjacent group. And I like realized that the group doesn't get a lot of traction, right? People don't really talk on the group. But I was like, okay, this is average, this is average student behavior. Maybe they wanna cram it last minute. I've been through groups like this before. I'm gonna wait a little bit to not be rude or anything like that. But then I realized that that it's been too long, right? And then I discovered that they had been doing the work in a different group, and they expected me to talk to them through that other group that they had made. So they wanted me to, instead of like, they wanted me to figure out what I was supposed to do on my own, instead of then giving me an assignment for me to do, which in my head, it made sense that they would give me an assignment for me to do because they were the ones who had all the data on the project and stuff like that. So how would I figure out on my own? But I was too passive. I should have like asked it. I should have asked it, but I was too passive, and they read my passivity as me being lazy and not wanting to work, so they decided to screw with me because of that. So that was like a horrible mess. It was a horrible mess. They didn't like me because they felt it was wrong for me to gain credit for their work. Then I talked to them and I was like, I don't want credit. I just need to pass this. This is like my I just need the grade. I just need the grade so I can graduate. I don't want to do anything in this area. Unlike you. You don't have to credit me in the thing. I just want to pass. And then they try to create some sort of stuff, but it was very weird. It was it felt self-righteous. To this day, I'm not entirely sure why, but I figured it had something to do with like they misread something. They misread how I did something, or really, maybe I did come off like that. It did because I just wanted to pass, and they wanted to take this hyper seriously, and it was a mess. It wasn't. It was a little bit my fault. Like there was definitely ways that I could have communicated better what I was actually doing. I should have been more proactive. There was actually a bunch of stuff that I could have done better now that I think about it. But you need a lot of self-awareness to realize when stuff goes awry for you, it's not all everyone else's fault. You need that self-awareness. You also need the balance to realize that not everything is your fault too. That is like the other side of the coin, where you kind of become a martyr and everything's your fault, right? But yeah, that wasn't a scary experience. In the end, I ended up having to talk to the teacher. And I explained the situation, I explained what happened, I explained what my goals were, and he was like, okay, make a presentation of your own, and I will grade it a little bit more leniently because you didn't have time. So I did a presentation overnight, presented it separately from them. The teacher gave me a passing grade, maybe out of pity, I don't know. And I managed to fix these things, and I never saw those people again, and good riddance. They don't want to ever see me again, probably, which is also nice. Guess we both win in this case. And yeah. Were they evil? No. No. They could have been nicer about it, but I am assuming that if they had this kind of reaction to me, it's because they probably got cheated before when they tried to be nicer, and they were like on high alert. People who do these things are usually gotten somewhat traumatized before. They're just like, I'm never gonna be taken advantage of again. So yeah, but the stories that just take the... put the characters in like bad spots for extra whoopee points, I don't know what to call it. They can be a little bit the narcissist POV. Because at the end of the day, everyone is the hero of their own story. Everyone is the nice guy of their own story. And you just don't know. It's kind of a noof for sure, but you know. But that was like a pretty scary moment because I was so close to graduating. I just needed the grade from that one, and I almost had to waste another year. Which was like, God no. God no. Okay, so let me think here. Can turn her around here. And we can do a back sprite. Let's take a back sprite of her. There we go. And now we can do some fun stuff. So now we're gonna delete the legs entirely. So yeah. And I wonder if I need to draw the legs actually. Probably. Probably do, right? Yeah, I do. Let's take the counter off. So I can see better. There we go. No, the Ugly Mug, about the Ugly Muggy Epic Fighter anime, I watched a little bit of it. It's definitely a parody. It's definitely a parody, but it's the kind of parody that isn't really trying too hard to say something about the genre. But it's definitely, it's not even a parody, it's more of a comedy. It's more of a comedy. Ugly Mug Epic Fighter, I'll be real, I feel like it was... The story feels like a waste to me. It feels like a waste. When the story started out, and the character got a bazillion extra points, because he put everything into all his points into disadvantage. But then he forgot to assign his bonuses. In that one glimmer of a second, I thought we were getting gold. I literally thought we were getting gold. Because I thought those unassigned points would actually go to waste. And I wanted that to happen so badly. Like, for Protagonist Kun, but at the same time, it would have been so much funnier if he actually became that ugly and that poor without gaining anything in return, because he fucked it up. He fucked up his perks. Here's a character who ends up being a complete failure because he fucked up his perks when he arrived into the other world. Honestly, I love underdog story. So if the character found a way to prevail in the world without his special cheat skills or whatever, without being good looking, without anything, with everything stacked against him, it would have been amazing. To me, it would have been like it would have been literally the best isekai I ever seen. If like the only thing he could rely on was his experiences as a salesman in the other world, right? If that was all he had, he has literally nothing else. And he prevails by doing that. Oh my god, that would have been so good. That would have been so good. As it is, the show is kind of funny. Like, I really like the chat con character that has an OC that looks like it came out from DeviantArt. I think that's like a really funny goof. I think that's a pretty funny goof. His hyper mode is his DeviantArt OC. I thought that was like pretty funny. And it's not that bad. It's not bad as a premise where it's like, oh, I am really strong. I am really ugly. I don't want to care about these people, but I care about them, so I kind of become their nanny. And I help them out because I am actually I'm technically nice. I am nice. I'm nice, I don't want these kids to die, it doesn't have to be my problem, but they showed kindness to me and I want to pay back. That's okay. That's an okay story, that's an okay motivation. It already is light years ahead of some other isekai protagonists who are very ulterior motive based. And don't seem to be aware that they're being that they're kind of dicks, you know. They're not the greatest guy in the world, but they don't seem to be aware of that. Actually, that actually makes me ask the question of what would that story look like? What would the story of a character that thinks they are the hero, but they're actually not at all that beloved by the people around them? Their actions are actually hurting people without them knowing, and they have to either come to terms with it or just hate everyone and everything around it. Hold up. That is the plot. That is the plot of the final chapter of Live Alive, which was amazing. That's been done, actually. I know how to do that. To this day, it's one of the most celebrated plot twists in video game history. God, that game is good. Chat, I think I'm gonna replay that game another day. There will come a time where I'll just replay that game. Just because of how good it is. That game is too good, and there are some episodes of it got missing on YouTube. Because my dumbass had trouble scheduling properly when to upload. It's such a good story. It's such a good story. In the final chapter, you play as as someone who you learn is actually the final boss. It's such a cool twist. Undertale, apparently Undertale actually took inspiration from this game as well. What's also amazing from that game is that this came from Squaresoft. This is like the most indie plot twist, and it came from a AAA company. You could just get away with stuff at that point in time in video game making. People were more willing to take risks. Way more willing. Square was so willing to take risks that they bankrupt themselves. Oh god. They would, every so often, they would come up with just the most batshit insane games. There was a game called Eingards or something like that, God Bless the Arena, which was a 3D fighter, Tekken-esque like, that had a bunch of characters that they created exclusively for that roster. But also, there were Final Fantasy VII characters you could play as in the game. So, if you ever wondered how Cloud would play as a Tekken character, this game would solve that question for you. This game would tell you that. Or Tifa. Tifa too. Tifa was in the game too. Now that I think about it, Tifa was there too. And is the game good? It's amusing. What was interesting about the game though was the fact that the fighting game was hiding a second game, which was a dungeon crawler that played with the controls of the fighting game. So there was a second game hidden within the first game, and I don't even remember how you accessed it. It was almost like a secret input kind of thing. Imagine putting an entire game hidden under a secret input that you would get for beating the fight game. Ah, you beat the fighting game. Here you go. Have an RPG. They did that. They did that. I don't think that's advisable, but they did it. Square was so crazy. Squaresoft was insane as a company. They were cray-cray. And I mean, if you stop to think about it, Kingdom Hearts started when they were still Squaresoft, before they became Square Enix. And the whole story of the company is crazy. Because the company starts bankrupt. The company starts bankrupt, and they're like, well, we can really only make one game, and if we can't make our money back from this game, I guess that's it, the company is done. We did everything we could. Oh well, I say we try it anyways. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, what's this game gonna be called? Well, since it's most likely gonna be our final game, because let's be real here, we are completely screwed. I guess we call it our final game, so let's call it Final Fantasy. It won't be a naming convention that's gonna haunt us forever and be really confusing to people who get into the series. It's not like there's gonna be 14 of these, right? Yeah, let's call it Final Fantasy. And that's why Final Fantasy is called Final Fantasy. Because they were sure it was their final game. It was their final chance at making games. And boy, did it pay off. Boy, did it pay off. I think I gotta say that the most ironic thing that about Squaresoft as a company before they became Square Enix has got to be the fact that the reason they went bankrupt wasn't because of a game, but it was because of a movie. They decided they were finally ready. Enough making huge text games with turn-based combat and rich story that is sometimes an incoherent mess, but most of the times really enjoyable. We're gonna make an actual movie. We're gonna make Final Fantasy the movie. And it bombed. It bombed so hard that the company went under. It actually bombed the company. You know, I'm not sure I like this back sprite for sitting too much. One, for some reason, she looks a little bit chunkier. And two, when she turns her head, it looks like she has broken her neck. I like the turned head, though. So I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make her sit sideways. You know? And we figure out the rest later. I am gonna save the sprite here because maybe we'll use it. Oh yeah, that's right. The way I did this before is I just left her then sitting on the side and looking at the counter from the side. It works best because it allows me to keep most of her features on screen. Unsurprisingly, VTubers are easier to recognize from the front than from the back. So that's a neat little trick to do that. Yeah, we should do this. We should do it like this. Man, God, I really wish there was a string avatars adjacent program that worked with isometric graphics. And it's like you make your little cafe and people come in. Imagine if that was a thing and Whiskey could use the pixel art that I'm doing for this commission in it. It would have been so cute. It would have been so cute. That could be made. Cutie Kitty, if you make something like this, you might gain some money because as far as I know, right? String avatars doesn't really have a lot of competition, right? For exactly what string avatars does. It could be something. There could be like some adjacent issues though. Like, I don't know. I don't know if string avatars is also popular because they have like a huge library of pixel art that's already being done for it, or that has been just ripped straight out of other games. Because a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people who just download string avatars to put Pokemon crawling from side to side in their string. And they never bother getting custom work or anything like that. So maybe some so it is an idea. I would be careful with it. Maybe like some market research or something like that. But I think it has potential. I think it has potential. Because there isn't a whole lot of programs that do stuff like this. It would look amazing to have a program where you like set up like a little bar or a little reception area or something, and then all your subscribers have like little custom avatars of their own, and they come and sit down on a table or something or whatever. Yeah, look into it. Look into it. It's definitely something. It's definitely an idea. Come to think about it, now that I think about it, there was a streamer that I think had done something like this, but they've only done for their own string, and I don't think it was ever released to public in any way, shape, or form. In other words, they never capitalized on it. Color is this? This is true skin color, I think. Okay, let's make it like this. There we go. There we go. Oh, we got this. That actually reminds me. Now, I remembered a drama question mark that happened a while ago in the Spriter community. Which I am not claiming to be a part of, but basically it was a big discussion in a lot of pixel art forums and Reddits and stuff like that. That happened when they released the remake of Final Fantasy VI. And honestly, I am still a little bit torn on buying the remake for Final Fantasy VI because of it. Which is the quality of the sprites in the remake seems inferior to the Super Nintendo version. And there was a lot of discussion to try to figure out what was wrong, what went wrong in it. At first there was outrage because apparently, and justly so, the original pixel art of Final Fantasy VI is well revered among the pixel art community. This is something I didn't necessarily know. I do agree, I just didn't know that that there were a lot of people who thought that, right? And interestingly enough, the thing that was pointed out that was lower quality was the colors. And the reason why the colors were considered lower quality was, get this, because there were too many colors. Which is interesting. It absolutely is interesting. And what went wrong there? What went wrong there? It took a while, but everyone figured out, I think everyone figured it out eventually, that the sprites weren't made based on the sprites on the Super Nintendo version. They were made based on the weird vector art that they were using for the tablet version. There was a mobile version of Final Fantasy VI that had these graphic with these very cold colors. Wow, that is cool, Kitty Kitty. That is really cool. Something you could do after you're done with your game, Or when you want to work on something that isn't your game also. That also works. I will need to learn how to do Twitch integrations and such, but yeah, I could do that. Most likely to be a side project. I think learning Twitch integrations could be a really good idea. If you're like a streamer and a programmer, because it allows you to like show off your work while on your stream, other than just coding on stream. It's like a really cool way to do it. There's this streamer called Shindings. They do a bunch of quirky stuff using OBS to its full potential. And then they do tutorials on how the fuck they did what they did. I'm now going to search for isometric assets so I can test it out. If you're just gonna do like a demo build, you could use this Gaia sprites. You can probably get them from the Spriter resources. There should be enough content for you there. Spriter resources is the best site there is. Especially for like older games and such, it's good. It's just a good place to research. You're gonna do pixel art. There we go. Hopefully it will never get swallowed by the eldritch ad gods. No, 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 no. There we go. There we go. And just a little bit. There we go. Spritersresource.com. Hold up, let me get that for you. There you go. You're welcome. It has sprites for almost every game ever made. It even has Flipwitch sprites, which I was like, oh, okay. Very useful for me to study then outside of the game. Here. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, this is good. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Na, 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 na. I need to play Chrono Crusade again. I know I say that about like every single freaking game, but I need to play Chrono Crusade again. I feel like when I played it, I wasn't in a place of my life where I could enjoy it. And I think I might get more out of the game now than I could back when I played it for the first time. Know what I mean? The problem is, it's like 100 or at least 30-hour something RPG. Which is always a gamble. It's always a gamble. It's a big time investment for the stream. Here. Okay, so with that, everyone, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and I will find us someone to raid now. Let's see. Let's see who is on today. Drawing Pokemon from memory. Let's see. Do we go for someone new or someone we know? Where should we go? Oh, surprisingly amount of people drawing Pokemon from memory. How curious. I wonder if it's Pokemon Day or something. You know what? These drawing from memory things are usually funny. So let's go to this person. Now, once again, everyone, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and remember, whenever you're in doubt, whenever you think you can do it, focus your inner ninja, and sure you can! Bye-bye, everyone! Have a good one! Bye-bye! Bye!